Good morning. Now that you have completed the academic reading skills discussion part one, it's time to work on part two of the discussion. So your first step is to go to the discussion and private messages tool and then click on the academic reading skills discussion post. Once there, you'll see part two instructions. Click on that. Okay. So part two of this assignment is having you take your one sentence summaries of the reading, the 2000 election and the war on terrorism, and then turning those one sentence summaries into a complete yet concise summary of the text. So in order to do that, I went ahead and copied and pasted all of your one sentence summaries onto a Google document that you have access to. So in order to access that Google document, in step two of the instructions, it says click here to view and revise our summary of the reading, the 2000 election and the war on terrorism. So simply click here. In order to have access to the document, you need to make sure you're signed out of your personal Gmail account and sign into your Gmail account with your hawaii.edu email address. Otherwise, it's going to tell you, Google will say that you don't have access to the document. So make sure you do that. Okay, so we're going to look at these instructions together, make sure we're all on the same page. So as I said, this is what it says, I copied everyone's one sentence summaries, and we're going to revise and edit this, your writing, to make a summary that, isn't repetitive or redundant. Okay, so step one, take a look at your group section. The main idea of each assigned paragraph should be included in your group summary. If it's not, please add to your summary. So for instance, if you were in a group where not everyone pulled their weight and there are paragraphs missing, please go ahead and write one sentence summaries for those paragraphs. You are each graded individually on this assignment, even though it is group work. So let's say you are doing most of the work, your grade's going to reflect that, whereas other people in your group will not receive credit for your hard work. So rest at ease there. Okay. And the other thing I want to say is just make sure each paragraph is accounted for, that you have a one sentence summary of each paragraph. Okay, number two. Make sure your summary is a condensed version of the original paragraph. So you don't want to have a 2 sentence summary of a paragraph. You just want it to be one sentence, and you want to get rid of any minor details that were included in those one sentence summaries. So only include the main ideas and the important major details. So basically, information that the reader has to know in order to know what's going on. 3, eliminate repetition when feasible. And what I mean by that, and when feasible, combine sentences. So, if it seems like, these 2 sentences are very similar, or these 2 paragraphs are kind of making the same point, just go ahead and combine that idea into one sentence, so that your summary flows well when we're reading it. Add transition words like, first, then, next, afterwards, finally, etc. And you don't need to overuse transition words, but again, enough so that it reads easily. Number 5, are all the ideas paraphrased? Meaning the summary needs to be written in your own words to avoid plagiarism. You don't want to use the author's original wording, unless if it's like the name of a person or place or a date. Otherwise, you want it to sound like your voice. So make any changes necessary so that it is in your words. Now, in order for us to communicate with each other, you need to use the comments feature in in Google or in Google Drive. So I'll show you how to do that. Basically, it says if you make changes to the wording, please document it by inserting a comment so that you receive credit for participating. For grading purposes, make sure you're logged into Google Drive with your hawaii.edu username and password, which I mentioned earlier in the video. So that way, when you make comments, your name appears. Otherwise, your personal Gmail email name will appear, and I don't know your personal email addresses, so I can't give you credit for your work. Okay, now, in order to make comments, what you're going to do, okay, for instance, group one. When I look at the group one paragraph, I know that there was a little bit of confusion. So I know that they did the work, but it was on a separate Scribble document. So they need to copy and paste their one sentence summaries into this article so that they can edit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a note saying that. So I'll say insert comment, and when you make sure you have the information that you want highlighted before you insert that comment. So I'm just going to say over here, group one, please make sure to copy and paste a one sentence summary for each paragraph assigned. Then revise and edit your work. And then just hit comment. And now my comment is recorded. And if I were graded on this assignment, I would get credit. Now for group two, you have, I think all your paragraphs are accounted for, but you want to double check. This is also for group 3 and 4. Make sure each paragraph is accounted for. Read through it again. Try to avoid repetition, delete information, delete minor details, add transition words, just like the instructions state. And then on Monday morning, I will send out a copy of your final summary, and you guys can see how well the summary, how good it is just by simply writing these one sentence summaries. Okay, if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm more than willing to help. I just need to know, when you need it. All right, have a great weekend, and I look forward to reading this summary.